What is up, guys? It's Avondum coming at you from Queens, New York. Today I'm with
Billy Bombs?
Of course, as usual. Today I'm going to talk about an album that is very, very, very near and dear to my heart as a teenager, which is actually this is the record that got me into hardcore. This is what started it all before me. Before everybody fucking has a tit fit. And fucking, I know everybody fucking hates them because now they're fucking popular. And, they're just like a shitty metal band now. I don't like the new stuff really, but whatever. That is neither here nor there. I don't give a shit about that. This record was released in 1997. I think I don't know how it started making the rounds, but I was in high school when this came out. And one of my friends, I was like 14, and one of my friends was like really big on them. This kid, his name was Alexis. He was like, "Oh, you gotta fucking hear this band, blah 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 blah." And I was into like shitty nu metal, like fucking like with the fucking big pants and shit. And he was like, "Nah, man, you gotta hear this shit." Oh my god, it was fucking terrible. I should be ashamed of myself. So the fucking, but he had this record, right? He had this fucking CD, and I fucking heard it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have never heard anything so fucking brutal." In terms of like I already knew, like even though I was into nu metal, I would still like Cannibal and all that stuff. So I like brutal music anyway. But this was a different type of brutal. It wasn't like really fancy, and it wasn't like super technical, and it wasn't like crazy. It was 20 fucking 6 minutes or 23 minutes of pure brutality. Every fucking song is like 1 minute, 2 minutes long.
Yeah, hold on one second. We didn't rehearse for this at all.
Yeah.
The fact that he memorized it by heart from years of listening to it, that it's 26 minutes or less, really makes you realize how much he loves this fucking record.
Oh my god, dude! It was like if you had like a skeleton key that opens the door of fucking Pandora's box into like all this glorious shit. This is what was it for me. So like, it was hard. It was fast. It wasn't. It made all the other bands before like look tame. In comparison, like I know like there's Awkward Thoughts, super fast, super brutal, still kind of punk rock. Hatebreed was not really punk rock. It somehow took hardcore, took the crunch of death metal, and the speed and brutality of thrash, and combine that with like Jamie Josta's voice on this record. He's never sounded better than on this record. I don't know what happened after this record where his voice, I don't like it, but this production on this fucking record was absolutely fucking phenomenal. It will never be the same. This is the crowning achievement. I know some people will say like they like the stuff before this, which is Under the Knife, which I actually have right here. This is a fucking brutal EP. I fucking love this. Actually, check it out. It's actually kind of dope. I don't know if that's like somebody. Supposedly, like when I was a kid, they were like, "Oh yeah, that was his drug addict uncle that like he fucking hated," and they put him in, and that's why Kill an Addict was on there. It was about his uncle. I don't know how true that is, but that was the word.
It's all hearsay.
Yeah, it's all hearsay.
But people are gonna type that's hearsay.
So about this for me, this record started everything. From Here was Cro-Mags, Sheer Terror, Blood for Blood, all that shit. You have. Let me see this fucking thing.
Go ahead.
Dude, every Satisfaction is the Death of Desire. My favorite song on this record is Conceived Through an Act of Violence. It will be my favorite fucking Hatebreed song, like, till the end. It's fucking pure brutality. There was no positivity on this record. There was no, like, oh yeah, let's do it, fucking power sing-along. No. This was pure fucking hatred. Like, but in a good way. Like, it was, like, so good.
Do you know where they got the name from?
From what I understand, it was a Misfits song. Because the Hatebreeders. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah. Jamie Johnson did an interview where he talked about that. Cool.
It's funny because I used to have, like 3 fucking sweaters. I used to have like these cheap like hoodies. I actually still, I should have brought it. I have the old shitty like these crappy like hardcore hoodies that we used to buy in Generation. I still have my Hatebreed one with the original logo, which is like the cool one, not the watered down like lame overproduced one, but this one is fucking cool. But like, I remember one of my teachers, I used to wear the hoodies all the time. I had the fucking gray one, and it had like, what was it? What was the fucking single? It was Death Before Dishonor. Yeah, it was Death Before Dishonor. it had like a photo in the back, and whatever, it said Hatebreed, and she was like, "Oh, that sounds like they're trying too hard." I was like, "Fuck you!" Shit is amazing.
I like that band Death Before Dishonor too.
They're fucking amazing. Straight from Boston, man. Their stuff is fucking great. I don't know
Boston.
I don't know
Boston. I think.
Are you sure? Maybe Massachusetts. I thought they were Massachusetts.
Either way,
you might be right. Either way.
We're from New York. We really don't care.
Either way. But this record, in terms of like,
I always love the fact that the singer's not on the cover. It's a guitar player and a bass
player. Yeah,
man.
It's
kind of like humbling to see as a fan.
Oh, dude, totally. Everything about this record was sick. I mean, the breakdowns, like the breakdowns, I never heard anything like that before. The speed, again, Jamie Jasta's voice was really, really particularly guttural. It's just there's nothing like it. I can still listen to the record from beginning to end. It's still fucking brutality. Like I can't even tell you. Like you can see, I don't even know what to say because it's so fucking good. Also, at least in my opinion, like this started that whole wave of metalcore bands that came out 2000 after. Like
you real quick, two things happened. One, he didn't know I had this on vinyl.
No, I didn't. I
pulled this out of my ass.
I know you weren't like a huge fan of them.
I wasn't because of bands like Earth Crisis.
Yeah.
Which feels like this is a band like this that went too far with their own beliefs, and I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
The Hatebreed has always been a cut above all the rest.
Yeah. I mean, it's like everybody knows who they are, right? Like at this point, but they were like just some band that came from Connecticut, and they.
Well, I don't know where these guys are from.
Connecticut. They're from Connecticut. Yeah. I think they're from this. I think they're from the same town as 100 Demons. I think they're
great fucking band.
I think they're from the same town as 100 Demons. If I remember
get that
right.
CD again, my friend.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Thank you, douchebag, who stole my shit and sold it.
But
we're friends.
But at least from my perspective, when I was listening to it as a kid, this started like that whole wave of metalcore bands. Like this came out in '97, and when I started getting into everything was like 2000. And after 2000, when Perseverance came out, the second record, which is okay, it's not great. The album's good, but I don't like the production. That's basically the only problem. When that came out, I feel like that was what sparked the entire fucking wave of metalcore that saturated the market for like 5 or 6 years. All of that shit, because before that, this is what I heard. Like As I Lay Dying, all that stuff that came out later on, Dead to Fall, all that shit later was because of these guys. At least from my perspective, that's how it, like, because there was nothing like that. They played a show called Tattoo the Earth with like Soulfly and like a couple of other fucking bands, and like I think from there they got really fucking popular, and. It was just like it went fucking. They basically are the pinnacle of like popularity in terms of like where a hardcore band went. There is no hardcore band as popular as them in terms of like overall. Like obviously like Agnostic Front and Cro-Mags and all that stuff is like oh yeah, okay, but like in terms of crossing over, touring, and then like you have like Jamie was the host of Headbangers Ball in the 2000s.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like they had
some good shit.
They got like a massive reach. Like I don't know about so much anymore, but like that like 5 to 6 year period was just Hatebreed was fucking on top of the world. I Will Be Heard. You heard that shit fucking everywhere. I remember the first time I loved this fucking band, and when yeah. So I remember the first time I saw them was at Irving Plaza. They played with Sepultura with Derek Green as a singer, and like I just went. I literally went for Hatebreed. Sepultura is like my favorite metal band, but it was with like I don't care about the stuff without Max or whatever. Say what you will, but I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. It was Sepultura, Hatebreed, and if I remember right, VOD opened.
Awesome.
I think it was VOD, Hatebreed, and Sepultura. There might have been somebody before that, but I can't remember. And I just remember watching them and being blown away because their set was probably like fucking 37 seconds because and just being like, holy shit, this is so fucking brutal. And they put on a really good show, and Jamie's a really cool guy. I remember I went back behind Irving Plaza because some guy I used to know like said that he whatever, I don't know, he thought that he knew him, and
I gotta write down every song he put for us because I remember this being on here. Too.
I remember, I met him. I met him behind Irving Plaza, and his fucking voice was like all fucked up, and I was like, holy shit! And he fucking signed my ticket. And years later, when I went to Ozfest, I brought the same ticket they played, and I brought the same ticket that he signed at Irving Plaza. I brought it again for him to sign at Ozfest.
Did you see him?
Because they were signing either before or after they played. They went into one of the tents and they were signing shit.
Oh, yeah.
And so I gave it to him, and the whole band. I swear to God, I gave it to them, and they were like, "Oh shit, wow!" And they were like, "That's fucking cool." They signed it again. I don't know where it went. I wish I still had it.
Probably in your mom's house somewhere.
Yeah. But like and like you know like they were always really really like cool guys. Unfortunately, like Boulder, which was the original guitar player, committed suicide like a couple of years back. That was really unfortunate because he was like really like from the beginning. I mean, if you look at there you go. There's Boulder. That was a real fucking shame, man. There he goes, right there. He kind of looks like Kevin Owens. I mean, I don't want to insult the guy, but he guess who he reminds me of.
It's tough, man, to lose your friend like that.
Yeah, man. Look,
the hardest part is being in a band with somebody and then you live the whole life with them.
Oh yeah, man. And they, I don't know what the circumstances were, like exactly why. He probably suffered from some fucking problem, and that's what happens.
We understand we suffer from.
Yeah, man. And look, this is how old this is. It's not Jamie Jost. It's Jamie Shanahan. Oh, isn't that fucking wild? Yeah, man. But yeah, this is like I think Smorgasbord Records. No, this is Stillborn. Oh no, Smorgasbord Records. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man. But I mean, if you want to like get into something that's like really really brutal, let's say let's say the other stuff isn't heavy enough for you. You know what I mean? Like,
let's crank it up a notch.
Yeah, like Awkward Thought or the other stuff or Breakdown. This takes it to another level. It's like, you want to talk about hard and fast. This is hard and fast. You're not gonna get like in terms of like that decade. You're not gonna get like some crazy shit like this. This was really really brutal. The production was good enough that it was listenable. Like, let's say you like better production. It was good, but not overproduced. It still had like a good quality sound, and it sounded like a metal record. Nice. Which was big for me. Like, I mean, look at that fucking logo, dude. It's a metal band logo. It's not even like... And then the name, Satisfaction is the Death of Desire. Like, everything about this came perfectly fucking packaged.
For 15-year-old Abe.
Oh, yeah, man. This was fucking great. This was everything. I took my fucking illigs and threw them shits in the garbage, and I was like, fuck this shit. I'm listening to hardcore. And like, that was when I was like, fuck. And then this is what led me to Warzone and all that shit. And
this is your opening album, huh?
Yeah, this is my introduction to everything.
That's awesome.
It really is. It's my introduction to everything hardcore, and it probably is for a shit ton of people too. I imagine, because like I said, there was nothing like that. There was nothing that sounded anywhere similar, and then everything started coming out after that. And I mean, you listen to it now, and maybe like, the breakdowns aren't as hard as they used to be. Like, it's like super simple fucking breakdowns. Conceived Through an Act of Violence was my favorite song. Just because the entire song is a breakdown. It's like a whole the fucking what are you, not the bridge, whatever the fuck it's called. But during the verses, it's basically a fucking a breakdown throughout the entire song. So it's pure brutal. Then you have a funny thing that I was just telling you before. Is that the last song on the record, you'll know if you have the original CD. I had it on CD. You'll know if you have the original CD of this record. I wish I still had it. Where if you open up the CD on the actual CD where it has like the names of the songs or whatever, the last song, Driven by Suffering, it's misspelled and it's called Driven by Suffering. So if you're trying to find the original Satisfaction is the Death of Desire print of the CD, as far as I know, go to the CD, look at it, and check the last track. And if it's not misspelled Dirven, it's not the original one. It's like a reprint from later on. And the CD will be clear instead of, I think it's like this color. I think it's got like that graphic on it, or whatever. But, I mean, yeah. So if you want something that's like really brutal and something that was kind of before that wave of metalcore, they're basically where to go. You're not going to hear anything more brutal, at least in that time as far as I remember. Everything brutal like this started in 2000 and after.
Nice.
And like I said, they're just like we're kids from like Connecticut, and it was cool to fucking see them. Like it was cool to see them. When they only had one album, and then it took like 5 or 6 years for this. Let's check that shit out. I always liked that. It was so cool. For some strange reason, he had a pentagram. Like, it's just like fucking super metal. It's a pentagram in the back. It's fucking great. I always liked this photo. It was dope. Anyways, like, if you want something that's more on the sides of metal,
this is it.
You can listen to it. Fucking 26 minutes. You'll be done. You'll be like, holy shit, I just got fucking raped by this record.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like just so hard hitting. Anyways. So I think that's about it. Let me fucking stop like dick riding for a second, and and so I think that's about it. If you want something really hard, really fast, something like that is even like a little bit further than the stuff from the '90s, listen to this record. This is like a really, I mean, it's like 21 years old, so like the breakdowns are not going to be fucking crazy. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's not going to be crazy, but. It's still fun to listen to. Every track is good. Burn the Lies, Conceived Through an Act of Violence, Driven by Suffering, Worlds Apart, Betrayed by Life, just everything is fucking good. Everything is Death Before Dishonor, which I think has, you can find it on YouTube. It's actually there's a video for it.
It's called Before Dishonor.
Huh? Is it? Is it Before Dishonor? Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Before Dishonor. So,
but anyway, we're wrapping this
up. Let me fucking wrap it up. I can go on ad nauseum for this shit. But yeah, this is what got me into hardcore, essentially. And take a listen. You'll like it. I mean, if you don't like the new stuff, it's not really anything like the new stuff. It doesn't sound anything like it. It's nothing. It's so good. So check that out. And I think that's about it. Gonna wrap it up. I'm Abe Von Doom.
I'm Billy Bombs.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Peace out.